Hey everybody, I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Welcome, welcome. It is Monday. For me, it's been Monday all day long. But anyway, I hope everybody survived the weekend. Anybody affected by the storms, whether it be snow, tornadoes, rain, winds. I hope everybody is made it through all that. It didn't get as bad in my part of Arkansas, because I'm in central Arkansas. Northeast Arkansas is a little bit worse up there, but as far as I know, just a little bit of damage. Thank goodness no fatalities, I don't think. But anyway, and we're supposed to have another round coming through, I think, Wednesday. But it's that time of year, so I guess we're used to it. But for anybody new here, thank you so much for being here. This is our weekly Missing Person Monday live stream. We've been going through the states. We're going to do Pennsylvania tonight. I think I have 7 missing person cold cases from Pennsylvania to bring to you guys and to discuss. I'm trying to get my train. I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, while I'm gathering it, we'll see who is here. It is good to see everybody. Chris is here. Hello, Chris. Good to have you here always. Vid checked in. She said, hi, I'm totally going to rewatch. Hugs from Ohio. Thanks for what you do. Absolutely. Always good to see Vid checking in. Doodle is here with her hello humans. Doodle is a beautiful human herself. We love Doodle around here. So welcome, welcome. Don't want to miss anybody. Arctic is here. Hello, friend. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you always. Please do check out Arctic, check out Doodle. Any other creators that are in here that I haven't got to yet or that aren't in here. Anybody with wrenches can throw in links. You know that. But it's good to see T here. Good to see my buddy here. Let's see. Miss Farr is here. Hello, Miss Farr. Always good to see Miss Farr here, all the way from Australia. Chris. Miss Farr has been a member for 7 months. She says climbing to 12 months. Thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. And of course, Farr gifted 5 Southern Gal True Crime memberships. Thank you so much, dear. You're an angel. So we get to put a cow in the pasture first. The first thing. Let me find the cow. The cow always hides from me. There she is. There's our cow. Thank you so much, Farr. Farr is an angel. Farr is an angel. Appreciate that so much. And I don't know who was gifted them. You guys might can see on a YouTube side. I can't see on a StreamYard side. But Farr said, welcome to the paddock. Absolutely. Welcome to the paddock, to the pasture, to whoever got the memberships. Miss Paula said, congratulations. Hello, Miss Paula. Good to see you, as always. Let's see. Arctic said he's here. Let the party begin. I'm telling you, if you're up for a party on Monday, good Lord, I'm not up to anything on Mondays except for making it through this, for doing this. Oh goodness, it was a long weekend. But anyway, we made it. We made it. And we'll make it through Monday. Thank you, Arctic. There is Miss Paula's link. And there is Miss Doodle's link. And there is Miss Vid's link. And yes, the Stolen Spirits, MIWG, excellent channel. Please go check it out. Because unfortunately, missing or indigenous do not get a lot of attention for the most part. So we do all we can to try to feature as many indigenous as we can. So please do check that out. Please do check out Mind of Monsters. Absolutely. Check out Miss Kimber. Arctic is fast getting these links in. Miss Duchess. Absolutely. She does wonderful work. Mr. Steve at True Crime Web. Farq's got the cows going. Is that cows? Yeah, got the cows going. Definitely check out our friend Dave. He had an excellent live stream. His late Saturday night, early Sunday morning live stream. I actually was able to stay awake for all of it the Saturday night. Even though I had to take a Benadryl because just this time of year with the it's a planting season here on the farm, so they've been plowing, so the dust is up, the pollen is up, the winds have been up, so it just makes it even worse. So anyway, yeah, absolutely. Chris said you should probably put Taylor's link as well. Absolutely. Arctic says his YouTube just updated in the middle of the live. Yeah, I was on my laptop in Dave's live chat because it's easier for me to throw in links on my laptop. And it went screwy during it and decided to do an update during live stream, Dave's stream. So I had to switch to my phone for a minute until it updated. I'm like, of all times for the computer to decide to update, it's right when I'm in the middle of trying to help people out with their live stream. Yes, there is Miss Taylor's link. Thank you so much. All right, I think I am caught up. Like I said, welcome everybody. Go ahead and put my slideshow up before I forget. Tonight, like I said, we're featuring cases, missing person cold cases from Pennsylvania. We made our way through the states. We have made our way through the East Coast. Yeah, you're more than welcome. She's saying thanks to Arctic, but absolutely. Please do check out Miss Paula. She is such a ray of sunshine. She always has her morning shorts. They're always so uplifting and positive, and she's our little light, or our big light. She always reminds me of that song, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. That's Miss Paula. But Miss Paula is a big light. All right, so like I said, I think we have 7 cases. It was a little bit hard because for once again, for anybody new, I use basic information from the Charlie Project, and then always get on the Google machine and try to find some other articles with interviews with the family members, law enforcement updates. I wasn't able to find on probably maybe half of them anything other than Charlie Project. So that is unfortunate, but yes, Arctic has got his link in. Please do check out Arctic. Absolutely. But we'll go with Charlie Project information is better than nothing. So we will get into it. Oh, let me mark where I left off so I won't get lost in comments. Welcome. That's a lot. John Krupa, freedom to draw and solve mysteries. Welcome. Says hello. I specialize in cold cases in Pennsylvania. Well, it is good to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely good to have you here. Well, I always love to see new faces here. I appreciate you joining us. All right. So I will mark there. And the first one we have is Deborah L. Arvanites. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or Arvanites. I apologize for butchering names. I do the best I can. But Deborah, make sure my information is going to come up, has been missing since May 29th, 1991 from Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania. She's a white female. She was 29 years old when she went missing. She'll be 62 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'2" to 5'3" inches tall, 130 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. She has a tattoo of a lightning bolt in clouds on her ankle, a tattoo of a rose on her shoulder blade, a mole between her mouth and her nose, a mole below her breast. It says that she had previously broken a toe and it did not heal properly. Her nickname is Debbie. She was last seen wearing a black leather jacket, a gold-colored shirt, a denim skirt, and high-top sneakers. So Deborah was last seen on March 29th, 1981. When she left home on Michigan Avenue in Ashtabula, Ohio, to hitchhike 40 miles to Conneaut. I hope I'm saying that. Conneaut Lake Park, which is in Crawford County, Pennsylvania. She apparently was going to attend a concert there. And also that weekend, the park was also hosting its annual Harley-Davidson motorcycle rally. And there were 5,000 to 10,000 bikers attending. Deborah told her mother that she did have a ticket, apparently for the bike rally too. And she planned to go. A family friend saw Deborah at the park, but she never returned home. She has never been heard from again. She did leave behind 2 sons. They were, after she disappeared, they were raised by relatives. She was divorced, but she and her ex-husband were on good terms. Ashtabula police are investigating Deborah's case, and foul play is suspected. So if you have any information on Deborah's case, you can call the Ashtabula Police Department at 440-992-7168. And let me see if I was able to find. I was not, unfortunately, able to find any interviews with family members, law enforcement, any updates on Deborah's case, unfortunately. So all we have to go on is Charlie Project information, but like I said, it's better than nothing, as long as we get the information out there. So, I mean, in this case, so she was going to a concert. It didn't say what venue or where the concert was. So we have the concert where something could have happened. Apparently she did, if I'm reading this correctly, make it to this motorcycle rally, because it said a family friend saw her at the park. So, well, I don't know if it's the park where the concert was or the park where the back rally was. But if she did make it to the back rally, it said there were 5 to 10,000 people, backers attending. So that's a whole lot of potential persons of interest, offenders. So it's just makes it hard. So I have, please put in chat what you think. I mean, to me, in my opinion, this is probably, or would most likely be, I'm just speculating, a stranger, maybe a stranger abduction, unless she had planned to meet somebody there that she didn't tell anybody that she was going to meet there, but that wasn't given in any of the information. So I don't know about that. But it's just, whatever happened, just a sad, as they all are, a sad, sad situation. So let me get in your comments for a minute, get caught up. Are you talking about John? Chris says, if it'll come up. Oh, he's got a great channel. He's an artist. Excellent. Yeah, so feel free to throw the link in. Somebody's already, yep, Arctic got it in. So we will definitely be checking out John's channel. Thank you so much. There it is. Arctic has got it. Thank you so much. We will definitely go check it out for sure. You are most welcome. Thank you. Ms. Farr says she subbed to John. I will be doing that as soon as we get done here. Yep, Arctic's been doing a lot of cold cases lately. He says I try to get at least one cold case deep dive out per week myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Arctic does wonderful on anything he touches. Anything he does is gold. Does a good job. Yeah, John says she may have wanted to disappear. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Chris says, about this one, Deborah's case is the first case is in Western Pennsylvania. All right. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Pennsylvania. I've been over that way. Let's see, one time. Trying to think if we even went through Pennsylvania when I went to the New England up around the Cape Cod in that area. Chris has got his red flags. Yeah, like I said, it could be on this one. It could be like John said, she just wanted to disappear for some reason. With her going to a concert, you would assume that there's going to be a lot of people at the concert. Definitely a lot of people at the Harley Davidson rally. So that just is like a overwhelming amount of people that could have, like I said, in there could be potential persons of interest, offenders, or it's possible she made it to the concert, to the back rally, left, was coming home or wherever she was going when she left, and something happened after that. Too many possibilities, lots and lots of possibilities. That's what makes it hard with these, especially these cold cases. There's Junior. Hey, Junior. Good to see you, friend. I hope you're doing well. Always good to see Junior here. He is a long time supporter of the channel. Been here from since I've known Junior since before I had my channel. Junior is a good fellow. Good fellow. Arctic said that's part of what's wrong and why people aren't getting found. Ellie jumping to the assumption they left of their own accord. Yeah, that unfortunately does happen in a lot of cases, especially with adults. So we have with the adults, it's a lot of times they're an adult, they can leave, they can disappear if they want to. And then I don't want to get Arctic started, but with the teenagers, automatically run away. But that's just the nature of it, unfortunately. All right, we are caught up. So let's see who we have next. We have Mary Ann Bagenstose. I should have already had her information up as usual. Give me a drink. I'm telling you, my allergies are just, everything's messed up. So Mary Ann has been missing since June the 5th, 1984 from West Willow, Pennsylvania. She is a white female. She was 25 years old when she went missing. She will be 66 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'5" tall, 125 pounds, with blonde hair, does not give an eye color. It said that she limps slightly and she has to wear a lift in one shoe due to injuries sustained in a car accident. Last known clothing she was wearing was a black t-shirt, blue jeans, and brown sandals. So Mary was last seen at her home on West Willow Road in West Willow, Pennsylvania on June 5th, 1984. Her estranged husband, Jerry, or Jair, is spelled Jere. I'm just going to call him Jerry. Went to pick her up to look at a car that she was thinking about buying. But when he arrived, Mary was not ready to go yet. She was still putting on her makeup, getting ready. So her husband took their 2-year-old son to nearby Longs Park, and when they returned in the early afternoon, Mary was gone. Jerry said that he found a note on the kitchen table from Mary saying that the car wouldn't start and she was going to walk to a local Turkey Hill Minute Market, which is just about 3/4 of a mile away. Clerks at the store who knew her because she did visit apparently this mini market frequently, they do not remember seeing her there that day. And Jerry said that he threw out the note that she had left before anyone else saw it. After that, she has never been seen or heard from again. None of her personal belongings disappeared with her. That's always, to me, one of the dead giveaways that something is afoot at the Circle K. Is somebody just, unless they just have some kind of mental breakdown or something, they don't take any personal belongings, especially a woman is going to take a purse, let's see, this was back in 84, so cell phones weren't a thing really. But, purse, cell phone, all the basic things that you would take with you if you're planning on leaving. Clothes, things of that nature, toiletries. So none of her personal belongings disappeared with her. And just coincidentally, she disappeared the day before a custody hearing over their child. So Mary and Jerry were in the process of a divorce in 1984. Jerry had moved out of their West Willow Road home, and he had moved in with his parents on Edge Hill Drive. But it says that he did remain in regular contact with Mary. So we have another, in my opinion, the top 2 people to look at. Obviously, the first one's going to be the husband, because you look, start from the inside, work your way out. We all know that. But at the time of her disappearance, Mary lived with a boarder named William Yelitz. It says that this Yelitz guy had come to live there after a friend of his named Thomas Whittington had moved out, I'm assuming, of wherever they were living. So apparently at some point, Jerry asked Thomas Whittington to leave because Whittington had been arrested for growing some Mary Jane on the property. So William Yelitz lived in Mary's house for at least a couple of months. It is not clear when he left. He stated that he did not know Jerry, and he had come to know Mary through this Thomas Whittington. So in September of 2022, the same month, in September of 2022, Yelitz, he passed away of natural causes. Authorities searched Mary's former home on West Willow Road, which apparently Jerry lives there now. So maybe after Mary disappeared. Jerry moved back into the house that she was living in. There was reportedly an area in the garage of the home that had been dug up and then patched with concrete. It is unknown whether this search turned up anything useful. Both Jerry and his and Mary's now grown son have not spoken to the media about the search. So the search was done in 2022. Foul play is suspected in Mary's case, as it is uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning. So, my opinion, we could possibly have 3 definite people to talk to. We have the husband. We have I forgot their names now. Yellet's, what was his first name? William Yellet's, and then we have this Thomas Whittington. And so the Whittington was the one that Jerry asked to leave because apparently Whittington was growing some stuff out on the property. That's just all my opinion, but please do let me know in chat what you guys think. But if you have any information, you can call the Pennsylvania State Police at 717-299-7650. And I think actually I have 3 articles I have 3 articles that they're not very long on Mary's case. So the first one, give me a drink, is from March of 2000. I'll make sure I got that right. March of 2025. It's from LancasterOnline.com. And I think it is an interview with one of the family members, maybe her mother. Okay, so it says she plans to throw herself into cleaning her house, scrubbing, dusting, vacuuming, airing out, doing anything but thinking about her daughter. So this is her mother, Mary's mother. Tuesday, as of when this article was written, Tuesday would have been Mary Ann Bagenstose's 46th birthday. Got ads popping up everywhere. Mary has been gone for 20 of those 46 years. The nurse's aide and mother of a 2-year-old vanished on June 5th, 1984 from her home south of Willow Street. So many milestones missed: her son's first day of kindergarten, his graduation from high school and college, 2 decades worth of birthdays and Christmases. Gone too are the small moments that fit together, make up a life. Daily telephone chats with her mom, shared recipes, shopping trips for sweaters, laughter over her ever-changing hairstyle. Mary was the victim of a homicide. Both police and her mother think the offender has been free for 20 years, but the case is not dead, both say. State Police Sergeant Raymond Guth, who is the lead investigator, says, just as of last month, we followed leads and attempted to approach the case from a different angle. Even at this time, there are ongoing plans for certain things to be done. New techniques are being applied to old evidence. I cannot pronounce this name. Ngongoro says, old contacts are opening up, revealing information that they were afraid to share 20 years ago. If there is anything good about a cold case, that is one thing that the more the years go by, people who may have had loyalties to whoever, a potential offender or the offender, might lose that loyalty. They may move away from the town. They may not be afraid. Something will happen to make them more willing to open up about information. That is one good thing you can say about these cold cases. In Ngongoro, so apparently that is Mary's mother, because it says she has a message for her daughter's offender. She says, closure is finally coming. You deserve what you get. Ann Bagenstose was getting ready to make a change in her life, her mother says. She and her husband, Jerry, were separated. The couple had a custody hearing coming up about their son, Jeremy. Her mother says that she was going through a very, very rough part in her marriage. She was losing a lot of weight from the stress and the worry. And apparently her mother is a retired nursing assistant. So Jerry Bagenstose, who has remarried and lives in Lancaster County, did not return calls for comment for this article when it was written. On the day that Mary Ann disappeared, she told her mother that her husband was coming to pick her up to look at a car that he was considering buying her. Jerry was living with his parents at the time, but regularly spoke to and saw Mary. Her mother says she sounded kind of excited. She says, we'll see where it goes. But the shopping trip for a car never took place. Jerry told police that he came to the couple's house that morning, but his wife was not ready to leave. Like we talked about earlier, she was still getting ready. So he took their son to feed the ducks at Long's Park. When the two returned to the home, Mary Ann was gone, according to him. Jerry told police that he found a note from Mary saying the car wouldn't start and that she was going to walk to a nearby store. Once again, the clerk said that he or she never saw Mary that day at the Minute Market. In New Jersey, where Mary's mother lived at the time, she was growing more worried by the day. She recalls, we talked every day on the phone. We were like sisters. When I didn't hear from her for 2 days, I started making calls. Her mother says that she called her daughters home and talked to a boarder who was living there at the time. This boarder, I'm assuming it's the Yellet's fella, he said he had not seen Mary. So then Mary's mother called the police. She says, I thought something had happened to her. She says, I knew my daughter would not leave her son or not leave contact with me. I knew something was going on. Her daughter, she says, would never walk to a store. It says, she said Mary Ann had been in a car accident when she was younger. She had a slight limp that required her to wear a lift in one shoe. And when Jerry told police he had thrown away the note that his wife left, Mary's mother said, I thought, that's not right. That's not right at all. To me, that seems a little sus, too. And she said it struck me as strange and odd. Police searched the fields near the couple's home. They interviewed friends, family members, and neighbors. They set up a roadblock to see if they could find motorists who saw her walking along the road. They even consulted 2 psychics. It wasn't long before Mary's mother knew her daughter was not coming back. Her mom says it was homicide, absolutely. Mary Ann joins a list of other missing Lancaster County moms. Courtney Fry disappeared from Columbia. Brenda Heist walked out of her Letit's home 2 years ago, as of when this was written. Mary's case is much older, but police say they continue to work on it, treating it, quote, as a homicide, not a missing person. One of the LEs said the case is still active and it's something that is discussed on a fairly regular basis. We have direction in the case and things that we're looking at, so it's certainly not a cold case. It just needs to be approached from different angles to get us to a final resolution. He says all the officers involved in this case know which direction the case has to go. We're not willing to let go. It's not something that's going to be dropped. Richard Jeffries, who's a local private investigator that was hired by Mary's mother after Mary disappeared, also has not forgotten the case. Although it's been 20 years and he neither expects nor receives payment for work on the case, he still receives tips from time to time. Jeffrey says everything is checked out, no matter how frivolous it may seem. Jeffrey stays in touch with Guth, who's one of the detectives, and shares anything that may be important with the state police. He says that this case will not be closed until we find out where she is at, what occurred. There are just so many questions still unanswered. Mary's mother says police have asked her to not speak publicly about specific new developments in the case, and we will get to those new developments. But she does say, I'm hoping charges will be filed before the end of the year. I don't want to say more. When things do happen, it will be a long and lengthy trial. She says, what's the difference after 20 years for me? I can wait another year, sure, whatever the system takes. In her home in North Carolina, Mary's mother, who is divorced and lives alone, is surrounded by memories of a daughter who was full of life, who loved her son and her friends, who enjoyed roller skating, movies, dancing, baking. Her mom says she was just a fun person, laughing and bubbly. Her mom wears a perfume that Mary once liked. At Christmas time, she displays 2 ceramic trees that her daughter made. In her kitchen are recipes written in her daughter's handwriting. In a cedar chest is a neatly folded striped dress that Mary once wore. Her mom says, there's just so much of her. It is always around me. So after Mary disappeared, her mom turned her attention to Jeremy. He was raised by his father's parents and attended the Milton Hershey School. Mary's mom visited her grandson regularly as he was growing up, rejoicing in his accomplishments for her daughter. Jeremy, who did not return calls for this story, graduated from the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and he has his own pilot's license. He now works for a software company in Florida. And it says, when he smiles and tilts his head, he is his mother, according to Mary's mother. Mary's mother says when the days get long, she talks to Mary. She gets strength from that. She says, honey, I know you are with me. Just breaks my heart reading with especially this mamas. All right, so the next one I had, so I think this is about a search that they did. Shallow grave unearthed. Sorry, I'm getting rid of ads. This is from December 2022. Shallow grave unearthed. Missing Mary Ann not found, but husband charged with homicide. Mary Ann Bagenstose, 25 years old at the time of her disappearance, was last seen at her home. Authorities say, we already went over that. Sorry, this ads popping up driving me crazy. Bagenstose was last seen by her estranged husband, Jerry, the morning she disappeared. He had been living with his parents, but frequently came to the home, as he did the morning of her disappearance, to take Mary Ann and their 2-year-old son to look for a new car. But Mary Ann was then in a relationship with a boarder at the home that they once shared. And this is according to a new release from the Lancaster County District Attorney's Office. It says Jerry had always claimed that she wasn't ready when he arrived, so he took their son to the park to feed ducks. And when he returned, he supposedly found this note stating that she was going to walk to the Turkey Hill Minute Market, which was a mile from the home. Although she was a regular customer, the clerks claimed she never stopped by the store that day. And that note stating, quote, had to run a quick errand, be right back, has now been determined to be in Jerry's and not Mary's handwriting. Her mother, Geraldine, reported her missing 2 days later, but Jerry never reported that she was missing, according to the DA. On June 8th, 1984, a Pequot Township police officer spoke with Jerry at the home on West Willow Road, and a shallow grave was possibly found. Mary Ann was not there, but the DA writes, A quote, the officer observed a piece of cardboard covering freshly dug dirt during a check of the garage. He lifted the cardboard and observed a digging area that measured approximately 3 feet by 5 feet. A search warrant was executed on June 13th, 1984, based on these observations. The hole in the garage was reopened and measured 3 feet by 6 feet and was approximately 5 feet deep, but the body of Mary Ann was not located. It says it appears that the custody of the son they shared was a factor in this case, as the DA noted in the release. The DA says, quote, in April of that year, Mary Ann was granted custody of her son. However, a formal custody hearing was upcoming and scheduled for June 15th. Mary Ann was described as a devoted mother to her son, who people say would have never been left. She would have never left her son behind. Mary Ann did not appear at the custody hearing, and Jerry was awarded custody of the son. And Jerry was the last person to see Mary Ann alive. Additional evidence gathered during the investigation, including a second search of the home on September 20th, 2022, and cited in the affidavit of probable cause, includes the following, as stated by the DA. Records obtained from Jerry's place of employment indicated that he had an unexcused absence for June 5th, 1984, which was the date of Mary Ann's disappearance. Jerry had an unexplained injury to his left arm, which was covered by a bandage. He provided inconsistent statements to law enforcement on how and where he injured himself. Jerry provided multiple inconsistent statements to police on what the note left by Mary Ann said, why he would have dug a hole in his garage mere days after the victim's disappearance, why he was present at the house that day, and what Mary Ann was doing when he arrived. He stated that Mary Ann was having car trouble and walked to a store. Once again, interviews with the victim's neighbors and acquaintances revealed the car was working fine in the days leading up to Mary Ann's disappearance. An assistant manager at Turkey Hill, the gas station Minute Market, stated she had not seen Mary Ann at the store on the day of her disappearance. Jerry told officers during the search warrant that the note did not say that she was walking to Turkey Hill, and that he only assumed that Mary Ann went to this Turkey Hill Minute Market. A maintenance supervisor at Longs Park related he had not seen the defendant's vehicle in the park on June 5th after being provided a picture of the vehicle. Two additional employees also had not seen the vehicle. In 1985, Jerry told investigators that people had relayed to him that they recently saw Mary Ann. The defendant never reported this information to police. Multiple notes and postcards sent to Jerry, purportedly from Mary Ann, were never relayed to the police by the defendant. Witnesses relay that leading up to her disappearance, Mary Ann was in a good mood and looking forward to getting a new car. So once again, none of Mary Ann's personal belongings disappeared with her, and her family said it would be extremely out of character for her to leave without her son or without informing relatives. But authorities now say this is not a missing persons case due to the following factors as stated in the DA's release. None of the victim's associates or family have been contacted by her since her disappearance. Multiple checks of police federal open source databases have not been able to locate her. No evidence has been discovered that the victim packed belongings for a trip or to leave home. The victim has not opened any bank accounts or claimed income. There's been no activity on the victim's credit or social security number. The victim has not been discovered to have established residency or legal identification in other states or, held a passport to leave the United States. So Jerry Bagenstose, now 68 years old, has been charged with one count of criminal homicide and was remanded to the Lancaster County Prison after being denied bail due to the nature of the charge, court records show. So that is all the evidence that they had against good old Jerry there. So actually this year, or maybe the end of last year or the beginning of this year, the trial is going to start. So this article is from, let me get the ads out of the way. Close. From March 24th, 2025. So just a few days ago. I'm telling you, these ads kill me. So after having his bail revoked in October of 2024, Jerry Bagenstose, who is charged with the homicide of his wife in Lancaster County in 1984, will begin his trial this week. Bagenstose was charged with a homicide in 2022 and was sent to Lancaster County Prison, and now over 3 years later, his trial was set to begin Monday. Authorities said that his wife, Mary Ann, disappeared from her home on West Willow Road. At the time, Mary Ann and Jerry were separated. Police spoke to Jerry on multiple occasions following the disappearance of Mary Ann, originally claiming that he took his son to Long's Park since Mary Ann was not ready. And when he returned home, she was not there, left a note that he threw away. The evidence, so we talked about just earlier, evidence gathered on the investigation and cited in the affidavit included valuable information that Jerry had an unexcused absence from work on the day of Mary Ann's death. He provided multiple inconsistent statements. He had an unexplained injury on his left arm. Once again, it's just going over what we talked about. The assistant manager at the store that she supposedly went to said they did not see her. In 2018, investigators with the Pennsylvania State Police stated that they were going to rework the investigation by focusing on a note they found during the June 13th, 1984 search. Investigators obtained public records and other documents to compare the writing of Jerry to the note. It says that, let's see, what is today? Today is March 31st. When this article was written, it said Jerry's trial will begin March 24th. So it's already started. But after a delay in being originally scheduled, so it was delayed. It was originally scheduled to begin October 21st of 2023. It says the trial is expected to last 2 weeks. So at the top, it had an update. It was updated on the 27th of March. And it says, according to Stacy Whittelek, Director of Communications for Pennsylvania courts, 12 jurors and 3 alternates were chosen. The trial is to begin at 9 a.m. on Friday, March 28th. So that would have been this past Friday. So, good old Jerry is on trial. So I will definitely keep up with it and see. As I said, it was supposed to last 2 weeks. So we will see what happens. So let me get into you guys' comments. Get down to where I was at. See, some people have popped in while I was reading, and it is hot as heck in here. Hot, hot, hot. Goodness gracious, let me get back up to where I was. Man, oh man. 1 minute. There we go. There's where I was at. All right. I'll stop my cam for a minute. Lordy, it's hot. My glasses won't stay on my face because I'm sweating so much. All right. Let me get a drink. Yeah. Arctic says, I know the allergies are maddening. The pollen is literally raining down here. I can draw a missing flower in the pollen on my cars. Oh, I know the pollen. Like I said, between the pollen and me living out here on the farm, it's plowing and planting season. So you got all that going on. The dust and the dirt. It's just horrible. And it looked like, I've lived on a farm down here all my life. You look like, you would think I would be immune to the dust and the pollen. It wouldn't bother me, but I guess the older I get now, the worse my allergies get. Junior says, same here. I had to use my windshield wipers to get the pollen off. John says, I've heard of this one. This definitely has foul play written all over it. Oh, absolutely. Yep. Arctic said, well, that's a red flag. Why throw the note away? Absolutely. And yes, like I said, why not take any belongings? That, to me, that's the biggest red flag in any case where anybody, man or woman, disappears if they don't take any personal belongings with them. Why? Why? Yep. Arctic says, a custody hearing and a contentious divorce. Yep, that's another, we hear that a lot too, absolutely. Miss Farr's got her red flags. Chris says, I agree with the red flags in the case of Mary. Absolutely. Oh, there's Dave. He's going to be listening and driving. Hey, Dave. Yep, he is listening and driving. Please be careful out there, Dave, listening and driving. I'm sorry, I just get into your comment. I'm behind. I was reading a lot. But it's good to see Dave. Yep. Arctic says it'll come up. More red flags than a bullfight. Absolutely. Yeah, that is true. Arctic says can't blame a guy for growing his own. Weed ain't sheep. Yeah, you got a point there. Chris asks, I wonder if it was legal there, illegal then. Oh, let's see, this was back in '84. I would hazard to guess to say probably not, but I don't know. I think it's just been recently that weed is starting to get legalized, either medically or recreational or both. So I would just go, my opinion, my assumption would be that it was illegal. Absolutely. Yeah. Arctic says, no, it wasn't legal. Back then, they would try to give you a life sentence just for having a few ounces of weed, much less growing it. That is true. Chris said, could the culprit be afraid of having other charges? Entirely possible. Absolutely. Oh, goodness. Junior says in the early 70s, he was facing 20 to life for pot. Oh, my goodness, Junior. Paula, do they have a suspect? Oh, yeah. Miss the husband, of course. He's gonna on trial. I'll have to look because I forgot to look for an update on this one before or within the last couple of days to see if they've started the trial yet or if it got delayed again. There's Doodle. Doodle's back. Hello, one of my favorite humans. Don't apologize. She says, I'm back. I apologize. I had to tuck in the little one. Oh, never. You don't, ma'am. You don't ever have to apologize around here. Good to have you back, though. Yep, Arctic said, great question. Even if they have a suspect, I doubt they have named one. That's what I run into way too often. Yeah. Yeah, but in this one, they do have a suspect on trial. Oh, there's Miss Doris. Oh, goodness. Watch out, I'm punching buttons. Hey, Miss Doris, good to see you, ma'am. From the East Coast, from New York. Good to have you here, ma'am. Always good to see Miss Doris. Absolutely. John says that note story just seems like a bunch of bull crap. I agree, sir. I agree. Especially, I mean, maybe just me, but if I had a family member, a loved one that, scenario, okay, we're going to go somewhere. Okay, I'm not ready. Well, I'm going to go run an errand. I'll be back. And I come home. There's a note. Then the person never shows up. I'm going to keep that note and say, give it to the police and say, this is the note that they left. To me, that's what a normal person, an innocent person would do. But once again, Jerry is innocent until and unless proven guilty. So allegedly. Let's see. There's Sunday Doodles. Sunday the Doodles. Hello, Sunday. Good to have you here. See, lots of people snuck in on me while I was reading. Yep, Jerry's just a little, yeah, just a little sus. Just a little. Oh, goodness. What? Sunday's talking about what? What blue people? Who's blue? See, I had wondered about before when I was looking into doing research and looking for articles about this case. My first thought was if it wasn't Jerry, the husband, that had something to do with these two, like Chris says, the two boarders. But turns out, allegedly, could be Jerry. But yeah, I had my suspicions also about the boarders. Absolutely. Hello, Dandy. Good to see Dandy here. She says, good to see all of you lovely people. It's good to see you too, lovely lady. Oh, now Forrest talking about honey. Oh, that sounds good. Yep. John says Jerry may have been jealous of the border. I don't know, or I can see the border too may have been involved. It could be any scenario. Absolutely, yeah. Because didn't it say? Because in the one of the articles it said that she, which it didn't mention it in the Trolley Project information, but once again, Trolley Project sometimes a little sketch. But in one of the articles I read, it said that she was having a relationship with one of the boarders, and I didn't say whether it was the Yellowton or the whatever the other guy, the other one that was growing the marijuana. So possibility, absolutely. Yep. Arthur said at least someone is finally getting charged after all these years. Absolutely. But yeah, to me, with the Jerry changing the story, changing his statements, having the wound or whatever, injury on his arm that he couldn't explain, throwing away the note. Yeah. Lots of, I guess that would be considered circumstantial evidence. Yep. Me too also. Arctic says typical, always side-eye the spouse. Me too. Let's see. I'll get caught up. Make sure nobody else snuck in on me. Stop me can for a minute. And as soon as I turn off my camera. Hello, Josh the Posh. Good to have you here, sir. And from what I hear, Josh is starting his channel, a channel. So let us know when you get it up and running, or if you need any advice. I can try to give you advice, but there's other ones like Doodle and Arctic and Mr. Steve that all been doing it longer than I have. But definitely interested and excited to see what Josh is going to do. So good to see Josh here. He is a longtime member, so thank you very much, Josh. John says this case is more interesting than originally perceived. There are so many recent twists and turns in the case. I will definitely have to do an updated version of this cold case. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because I know they have all this, I named it or, agreed to with all this evidence, circumstantial evidence I have with Jerry, but it could possibly been more than him and one or both of the boarders, or I still have questions about the boarders. Absolutely. But apparently, if they looked into them, they didn't have enough evidence or anything to make them think they had anything to do with it. But now that could change. That could change. We've seen it happen in other cases. Josh says that he has seen Mary Ann's case several times over the years. Oh, Dandy says, I change my color every month to honor everyone's favorite color. March is yeller. That yeller, it's my favorite. I'll have to remember that. Yellow is Dandy's favorite color. I will have to remember that. Hello, sweet doodle. Again. Hello again, Miss Doris. Says, so much love from New York and the East Coast. Absolutely. Love right back to you. Some Southern love coming from me. Let's see. Excellent. Arctic says our team is covering a 33-year-old missing murdered Indigenous women homicide and bringing the family on to talk about their fight for justice next Saturday. Excellent. If I'm not working, I will definitely be watching. If I can't watch it live, I will definitely catch replay. I have to. Arctic? Didn't you do a live? Was it today? Yesterday? I know I was working. I'm gonna have to replay crew that one. Most definitely. Oh, Miss Doodle, don't ban Echoes. He may not be here. I'm so behind. Hello, Echoes. This is my brother. For anybody who doesn't know, this is Brian. He says, "Don't be scared. It's just me." Welcome, brother. Good to see you here. Maybe Miss Doodle won't put you in timeout this time. Oh, yep. Always good when I have family. Although he says, "Are you at work?" Because he always tells me that my live streams are less boring than his work is. I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh yeah, Miss Doodle says no worries. I remember brother Echoes this time. That was so funny last time. I had to laugh. I'm still laughing. Oh goodness, that was funny. See, that was a little confusing me because Paula said, "Did the boarder live in her house?" That's what I took it to mean, was that I was kind of confused. Let me go back to because it said that the Yellerton, Mr. Yellerton, hold on, let me find her, was living with her. Jerry was living with his parents, but then they mentioned, hold on. So it said at the time of her disappearance, Mary lived with William Yellett. I keep Yellets. Yellets had come to live there after a friend of his, Thomas Whittington, had moved out. Okay, so I got it now. So apparently, when Jerry moved out, Thomas Whittington moved in. Jerry asked Whittington to move out because he was the one growing the Mary Jane. And then I'm assuming after Whittington moved out, then Yellets moved in. If I'm reading this correctly. Because at the time of her disappearance, Mary lived with Yellets. Yellets had come to live there after a friend of his, Thomas Whittington, had moved out. Jerry had asked Whittington, to move out because he had been arrested for growing marijuana on the property. Yellets lived in Mary's house for at least a couple of months. This is not clear when he left. He stated that he did not know Jerry and he had come to know Mary through Whittington. So kind of confusing, but I think I understand it now. Because at first I thought that Yellets had come to live with Mary after Whittington, that he and Whittington had been living together and Whittington moved out. Anyway, I think I understand it now. Maybe. I think I got it now. Oh, Arctic, are you explaining what's going on with? Oh, you might be talking about another case. Let's see. Okay, Saturday. Okay, so today's Monday. Artist says I did one Saturday, every Saturday. So you're going to start, excuse me, doing one every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. Gotcha. Excellent. I always thought you needed to do more live streams. I know you said before you don't like to do live streams or you get nervous. Well, I get nervous too. Anyway, but yeah, you do excellent live streams. Excellent with the family members. Oh yeah, Doodle's still laughing about putting echoes in timeout too. Yes, we made good memories. Absolutely. Oh, he is not. Oh yeah, you're off on Mondays. I forgot. Not at work tonight. Are you watching? Is basketball on tonight? Have you been watching the March Madness? I think it's down to the Final Four. What is it? Florida, Auburn, Houston, and Duke, I think, is in the Final Four. So being in SEC territory, I'll have to probably either, because I think it's Florida and Auburn are playing each other, and then Duke and Houston are playing each other. So I'll have to root for my conference, even though I'm not really a huge fan of either Florida or Auburn. But Echoes is here. He'll say, never root against your conference. Oh, there's our friend JP. Hello, JP. So we have two musicians in here. We have JP and Echoes. Says, hello, my beautiful people. It's been nice to be away from music and engaging in something new. Filming. What have you been? You'll have to let us know. We'll have to get over to. Somebody's probably already put in his link. Get over to his channel and see what he's been filming. Good to have you here, sir. Oh yeah, he's a big softy. Don't let him tell you otherwise. Except to me, he's mean to me. So Arctic said his lives are already scheduled. If you go to his upcoming lives, you can set a notification. Excellent. Yes, Josh, yes, he was arrested and his trial was supposed to have started. Let me see if I can find an update. His trial was supposed to have started, what I say, March the 24th. So just a few days ago. Let me see if I can find anything really quickly, and then we'll move on. If I can remember how to. There it is. Okay, so 4 hours ago, let's see what this says. So this is from 4 hours ago from Lancaster Online. Witnesses in Jerry Bagenstose's homicide trial testify that he never asked if they heard from his wife after she went missing in 1984. Two women who knew Mary Ann Bagenstose, the Pequot Township woman who went missing nearly 41 years ago, testified Monday, so that would have been today, that Mary Ann's 2-year-old son, Jeremy, meant everything to her. Prosecutors with the Lancaster County District Attorney's Office contend that Mary Ann is deceased, allegedly killed by her estranged husband, Jerry. Her body has never been found. Jerry Bagenstose, 70, is on trial, charged with a single count of homicide and only the second no-body homicide case to be tried in the county. Assistant District Attorney Mark Fetterman told the jury in his opening statement Friday that Jerry's motive included a bitter custody dispute and an affair that Mary Ann had been having. A third woman, Lynn Mellinger, who at the time lived in an apartment next to the Bagenstose's house, testified that she regularly saw Mary Ann and Jeremy outside playing in their backyard. Mellinger did not, however, see much of Jerry, who had recently moved back in with his parents. If he was at the West Willow house, it was on evenings or the weekend. except the day Marianne went missing. Mellinger testified that she was surprised when she came home from her shift at McDonald's that afternoon to see Jerry at his house. He was hanging wash on the wash line, something Mellinger said that she had never seen him do before, and he was taking garbage bags out to his truck or the garage. Red flags. Mellinger testified, quote, it was quite a few bags. She had also never seen him carrying trash bags before. Besides testifying to seeing Marianne and Jeremy sharing affection, all three women testified that Jerry never once asked them if they had seen or heard from Marianne after she disappeared. Now, what innocent person does that? Or doesn't do that? The trial is expected to resume Tuesday morning with testimony from a private detective hired by Marianne's mother. I think we talked about him in one of those articles, who reported Marianne missing on June 7th of 1984. At a pretrial hearing in February of 2023, Richard Jeffries testified that he interviewed Jerry days after Marianne's disappearance. In the interview, Jeffries said he told Jerry that he could understand how an argument could lead to an unintended death, to which Jerry's eyes filled with tears as he replied that, quote, it wasn't an argument. The interview was interrupted by a knock at the door, and Jerry ended the interview and did not talk to Jeffries again. The prosecution's case is expected to last until Friday. The defense has not said whether Jerry will testify. However, during jury selection last week, his defense attorneys asked numerous potential jurors if they would hold it against the defendant if they did not testify, as obviously they have the constitutional right to not testify. So apparently that is the latest. That was from 4 hours ago, from testimony from today. So definitely I will keep on top of this. And John said he was going to keep on top of it. So we will do our best to keep you guys informed. Absolutely. JP says prayers for the families. Today I watched Gone Girls and was amazed. Those cases are heartbreaking. I'm going to have to watch that. What is that on? Is that on Netflix? Hopefully it's on Netflix or Hulu or Paramount or something that I actually have that I can watch it on. Yeah. See, I told you, T. You know what? Yeah. T says Echoes is off every day. He's just not working tonight. Oh, goodness. Oh, thank you. You can call it. Somebody is causing a ruckus at some point. But Echo says, I try not to cause a ruckus on serious topic nights, just helping the algorithm. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sunday the Doodles is poo-pooing on something. Oh, not a Texas fan? Yeah, I'm not a Texas fan. See, I'm not a Texas, being in Arkansas, especially with football. Definitely not any Texas team fan. Even though Echoes is a Dallas Cowboys fan. But as far as college football or college sports, not a Texas fan, not a Florida fan, not an Auburn fan, Duke. But I don't watch a lot of basketball. Just I watch Arkansas in the tournament, and we made it to the Sweet 16. But then, Echoes, did you watch that game? If you're still here, did you watch the Arkansas and Texas Tech game? We were up by 16. Was it 16 at halftime? We were just blowing them out first half. Second half, they came back, was whittling away, got within 2, back and forth, went into overtime, and we lost. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be about missing persons. Yes, it is like it is. I can neither confirm nor deny that I may have talked to T, aka Arctic, about all of my any or all of my family. Oh yes, Arctic is awesome. And their Al Davis back. Absolutely. Ah, good to see you too. JP says, just the right timing. I just got home. Absolutely. Yes, Al Dave is definitely awesome. Josh says, Jesus, sometimes I'm not a Texas fan either. I live in the Panhandle. JP grew up in Texas. All right, I won't hold that against you. No, our dad's family came from Texas. Dad was actually born on Galveston Island, and then they grew up in Longview, and then somehow made it to Arkansas. So we have Texas roots. We have Texas roots on dad's side, Georgia roots on mom's side. So anyway, Josh says his is a little bit of a love-hate, probably toxic relationship with Texas. So Dave says that's her and or them and KU. Yeah, there's supposed to be more bad weather moving through Wednesday this week. I think Wednesday, tornado. Well, tornadoes. The usual things, all the things, and then after that, the rest of the week, just lots and lots of heavy rain. So flooding also is going to be an issue. So everybody, please be careful. Be aware. So JP says, here's a playlist hosted on my OAC. What's OAC? Feedback appreciated, much needed. Please and thank you. Absolutely. We'll definitely check it out. Yeah, Dundee says someone should stream it in Discord. Okay, so JP says the Netflix and dramatization movie is called Lost Girls. So where is who mentioned the Gone Girls a while ago? I've heard of it, but I can't remember what it was streaming on. Yes, I agree with you. Sunday says poo poo on the Longhorns. I'm in agreement with you on that. Yep, absolutely. Our dad was from Texas. Oh yeah, unfortunately you watched the Arkansas game. I know. I was so mad. I stayed up late and watched it. Like I said, I'm not a big basketball watcher. I'm a football girl, but stayed up all that time, watched it, got more gray hairs, and we ended up losing. Oh, Sunday loves Texas. We won't hold it against you. I like that. I'll just let that sit there for a minute. I've actually been to Jerry's World once when we went to when we play A&M in football, the Southwest Classic. They always have it at Jerry's World. I've been once. Of course, we lost. Arkansas lost. JP lives in Katy, Texas. I have heard of Katy, Texas. JP says Oklahoma is far worse than Texas. Oh, you're going to get Arctic is originally from Oklahoma. He's been in Arkansas for a long time, but I mean, not sure what link is. You talking about JP's link? Oh, it's for JP's art for his channel, his playlist on his channel, his YouTube's channel. Okay, thank you. So JP says Netflix has Gone Girls, a Long Island serial offender. Yes, that's the one that I want to watch. Thank you. John also said Gone Girls is on Netflix. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're a musician. Oh, so Sunday was poo pooing on the state of Texas, not the sports. Oh goodness! All right, we're gonna get caught up and then get back to business. Oh, Echoes doesn't. He doesn't have a channel. He has, well, he has like a profile or whatever to be on YouTube. I don't think he has a channel anyway. He should start one. He likes to talk. He's a good talker. Oh yeah. Artist said Arkansas and Oklahoma are equally bad. The amount of mething around is insane. Yes. JP says he feels like an echo. John says he's a Blue Devil. That's Duke, right? He says he's a Blue Devils fan. He's from northeastern Pennsylvania. Figure that out. Sunday, you're moving to Arkansas. You want to move to Arkansas? That would be cool. So Sunday says is move to Arkansas if I could get my family on board. We would welcome you. You could talk about anything and everything. Music, movies, sports. You could have a variety show. Yes, that is your skill. You're very good at that. No, we all got off the tracks. We're all off the rails on the crazy train right now. All right, so we will get back to the cases. So next we have Robert Elmer Addison. God, I'm sweating. Hold on. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Watch out. I'm punching buttons. It's never good when I do that. My glasses are falling off my face because I'm sweating so bad. Let me get a drink. Yes, Echoes is a jack of all trades. Thank you. Dandy says Arkansas is a beautiful state. Yes, it is. It is. John says, I do lives on YouTube and Facebook. Most recently, I've been doing lives. It's not really nerve-wracking anymore now that I've been doing it for 2 years. Yeah, I had my channel anniversary. Was it February 13th? It was 2 years. But now I didn't start out. It was, I don't even know when I did my first live. I started out doing really, really bad videos. I like to think that my videos have gotten better and hopefully my lives have got better. Oh, Arctic says he's out of gummies, so we could take a turn at any time. All right, everybody keep an eye on Arctic. He's out of gummies. Somebody might have to send him an emergency delivery. Dave says, I didn't know it was his birthday. Happy belated birthday to Eric Clapton. Absolutely. What is not what you typed? Echo says that's not what I typed. You might ask Dandy about autocorrect. Dandy always fights with autocorrect. Oh goodness. Dave, be careful. He says he is currently dodging all the downed tree branches. Yes, be careful, Dave. Don't be scared to do lives. JP, if I can do a live, if I can get up here with my babbling self and do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Yes, I cringe when I watch my early videos too. I actually had a thought the other day about going back to the very first bad ones and just whoever I was talking about, just redo the videos and delete the old ones. I still haven't decided yet. Because I mean, they're bad. They're bad. Yeah, John says he did horrible videos in the beginning too. Yeah, it's a learning, and I'm still learning. We're all still learning. I learn something new every day. What not to do, what to do. All right, so let me quit babbling. One of the things I need to try to make myself stop doing. So this is Robert Elmer. Let me find his information. Robert Elmer Allison. Almost said Addison. Robert has been missing since December 21st, 1994 from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. He is a white male. He was 42 years old when he went missing. He would be 72 years old as of 2025. At the time he went missing, he was 5'9" and 170 pounds with brown hair. Once again, no eye color. He does wear glasses. His nickname is Bobby. At the time of his disappearance, he was a heavy smoker. He would smoke 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So Robert was last seen at the Tri-River Fleeting in Bethel Park, near the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on December 21st, 1994. He was employed there on a towboat on the Ohio River. He left work that day, intent on going to a bar in West Pittsburgh. He left the boat on foot, headed toward, sorry, my nose is itching, headed toward, I'm going to try not to butcher this, Patriaglia's junkyard, and has never been heard from again. All of his possessions, including his clothes, money, cigarettes, and television set, were found on the boat. And I'm going to say it right now, as a former smoker, I vape now, but as a former, I smoke 2 to 3 packs a day. Even if I was just going to walk next door somewhere or just go to run a quick errand, I would always have my cigarettes. So when I read that a heavy smoker left and did not, and unless he had an extra pack he took with him, did not take cigarettes, that's always a red flag for me. But that's just me. His estranged wife stated that he would never have gone anywhere without his cigarettes. He also left behind a baby daughter, and his case remains unsolved. So if you have any information in Robert's case, you can call the Pennsylvania State Police at 724-627-6151. And let me see if I could find, I do have an article, a short one with some comments from his ex-wife. This article is from June of 2018. Estranged wife doubts details of West Virginia man's 1994 disappearance. So Robert E. Allison was already absent from his wife Rebecca's life when he disappeared in 1994. They were married in 1990. They separated a few years later. Rebecca, his ex-wife, says, quote, "We had differences that we just could not work out. I didn't have much contact with him after the separation." So when Robert Allison went missing December 21st, 1994, Rebecca learned about it secondhand. The Pennsylvania State Police called her seeking information, but nothing ever came of their investigation. Rebecca, 65, of Moundsville, West Virginia, wants to know what happened to her husband, whom she called Bobby and with whom she had a child. What little is known about Robert Allison's disappearance comes from a missing persons flyer distributed by state police in Waynesburg and a newspaper article published about a year after the incident. A native of Cameron, West Virginia, Allison was living in Waynesburg at the time of his disappearance. He worked for the Ohio River towboat operator Tri-River Fleeting and Harbor Service in Pittsburgh. Prior to his disappearance, Allison, then 42, told a fellow employee that he was going to a bar in Pittsburgh's West End. He left the boat heading towards Patrialia's junkyard on foot, according to state police. Once again, all of his belongings were left on the boat, including clothes, money, cigarettes, and a portable TV. It says the cigarettes especially aroused Rebecca's suspicion that something was amiss. She says Bobby was a heavy smoker, maybe 2 or 3 packs a day. There were cartons of cigarettes on the boat that he left. He would have never left his cigarettes. Nearly 24 years later, she still has doubts about the official version of events. She says, "When I first heard about it, I was told that he had fallen off the barge. After that, it was, oh, no, he left the barge." She said, noting that she has never talked to Tri-River, which is the company he worked for. A person answering the phone at the company's office at the Pittsburgh West End Landing said no current employees worked there in the 1990s. Tri-River was purchased by Console Energy Inc. in 2007. Sorry. And was sold again in 2013. Rebecca met her future husband on a blind date. She was impressed with his smarts. He was valedictorian of his graduating class at Cameron High School and his sense of humor. She says he was a very nice guy. He was very intelligent. He had a very sharp sense of humor. It could be like a dry sense of humor, but it was absolutely funny. The two bonded over their mutual love of West Virginia University football, so much so that they spent their second date at her house watching a Mountaineers game. The couple married and had a daughter together. The girl was just starting to walk when Robert disappeared. And Rebecca says that she, the little girl, the daughter, really has no memory of her dad. That's so sad. The state police investigation was eventually transferred from the Waynesburg barracks to the Bell Vernon trooper who handles missing person cold cases. Although the case is still open, all leads are considered exhausted. Anyone with information is asked to call the Bell Vernon barracks at 724-929-6262. So it's just sad. The little girl has no memory of her father, but I'm sure her mother, even though they were divorced, told her all about her daddy. All right, let me get caught up in your comments one more time, and we will move to the next. Let me get back down to where I was. I'm going to stop my cam for a minute. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Let's see where I was at. Yeah, Dandy says autocorrect and Uncle Google are not your friend. Chris says, John, your videos are great. I'm definitely going to have to get over there and check him out. JP says he cringes when I hear earlier recordings. They are hideous. I think anybody who does videos does that. Thank you, Dandy. Got John's link in again. Yes, Dave says never leave cigarettes behind. I know, that's every time I hear a case like this, a smoker, and they said they left their cigarettes behind. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I mean, when I used to smoke cigarettes, I mean, I could be halfway to wherever I was going and realize that I forgot my cigarettes. I would turn around, go back to the house, get my cigarettes, and then go back to, head back to wherever I was going. Yep, Arctic says that is always a red flag. Thank you so much, John. I hope I didn't miss him. Turn my camera on. Oh, goodness. Hold on. I almost took myself out. Thank you, John. He says, this is a cool channel. Thank you so much. We're definitely going to check out you. Got to go now. Got to get up early, but I enjoyed this. I will be back to visit. Thank you so much, John. It was a pleasure to have you here, sir. You're welcome back anytime. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. JP says, wish they had more details other than suffering depression. Yes, absolutely. We loved having John here. Always good to get to have somebody new here, especially other creators. Absolutely. That is true too. JP says that depends. I'll leave 2 packs laying in 2 different places because I always lose them anyway. Some smokers do this. That is true. That is true. Well, what is everybody knowing about? Wait a minute. We got no's and faces. Yes, that is a good question. Yes, Sunday says, if he fell overboard, wouldn't they have found him? Now, I don't know, anybody who lives in the area may know how big the river is. We all know it's hard to find, usually hard to find somebody, a vehicle, much less a person in the water. But it's definitely possible. I mean, you would, you know, I wonder if they did. It did not mention if they did a search of the water that I remember, but I read, I don't know. I get the cases mixed up sometimes when I'm doing these. But if anybody remembers, if it mentioned, if they said they searched the water, but surely, because it said in that one article that the ex-wife said that first they told her that he fell off the barge. So if he fell off the barge, wouldn't they have called somebody to come look for him? I mean, that is an excellent question. Yep, definitely anything is possible until the evidence speaks. You are correct. Yeah, JP says not necessarily sharks will eat flesh very quickly. In some cases, there are still sailors lost at sea. Absolutely. Yeah, it's really, really hard or harder to find people in water, people in heavily wooded or forested areas. Oh, sorry, I had my earpiece in, just started ringing really bad. Yep, Arctic says, I know if I leave my vape at the house by accident, I'm stopping and getting a disposable at the first smoke shop I see. Yes. Um, yep, Paula says the DNA speaks volumes. Absolutely. Oh, God, I do too. Artist says, I still sound like a hayseed reporting from my John Deere. I know when I go back after I record videos, I'll just go back and watch them to make sure I didn't flub up too bad and need to re-record something. And good Lord, my Southern comes out really, really bad on my videos. That is a good question. JP says, I only speculate, but did the ex-wife have alimony coming? It did not say. Hey, Mustang. Oh, goodness. My buttons aren't working on my fingers. Hey, Mustang, good to see you. We love seeing Mustang here. Yes, I saw that. Josh says they found Karen Sheppers or Sheepers from 1983 the other day in a river. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. JP says things like wallets, keys, phones, meds, and IDs are crucial when evaluating a crime scene for the people. It's always who, what, when, where, why. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, for the police. Oh, yeah, for the police. All right. I think I am caught up once again. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, Sunday says he did not walk to town without his cigs. Absolutely, I agree. Now it is possible. I mean, like JP said, he could have had more than one pack and took a pack with him and had one that he left at home. That is entirely possible. But all right, need another quick drink. Next. Oh, now we have some kids. This is Jeanine Camille Barnwell. Let me get her information. So Jeanine was last seen on November 15th, 1985 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is classified a non-family abduction. She is a Black female. She was just 3 years old when she went missing. She'll be 43 years old as of 2025. The time she went missing, she was 4 feet tall, around 55 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Not a whole lot of information at all, unfortunately, but with these kids, the kids get me, the kids and the elderly that go missing. So Jeanine was last seen by her mother in the 4900 block of Wakefield Street in Philadelphia on November 15th, 1985. She disappeared during the day. She has never been heard from again. And for unclear reasons, there was a delay in reporting her disappearance to law enforcement. So obviously that's always a big red flag, especially with a 3-year-old. Authorities do suspect foul play was involved in Jeanine's disappearance, but few details are available in her case. So that's basically all the information I did find, just a little bit, I believe, on Klein's Facebook page. For anybody who does not know Klein, check out Missing Black People, the Forgotten YouTube channel, and on Facebook. Excellent channel. So if you have any information on Jeanine's case, you can call the Philadelphia Police Department at 215-685-1180. And I found a post, like I said, I believe it was on Klein's Facebook. If I can get it to come up. Yes, this is from the Facebook group or page called Missing Black People. Once again, I'm waiting for it to come up. So this is from, and I will I will save this flyer and I will post it on, that I'm going to read from. I'll post it on my community tab and I'll post it on my Facebook page. But it says, hello, my name is Jeanine Camille Barnwell. Hold on, I gotta make it a little bit bigger so I can read it. I was 3 years old when I went missing from my home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on November 15th, 1985. I'll start from the beginning because there are so many twists and turns in my story. On that day, I was allegedly last seen by my mother in the 4900 block of Wakefield Street in Philadelphia. My mother told police I disappeared during the day. She had no idea what time and day that I officially disappeared, leading me to believe that I went missing long before she reported me missing. So exactly when I went missing is a complete mystery. I will be missing for 39 years on November 15th, 2024. So it'll be 40 years this November. What really happened to me? Why didn't my mother look for me? The police suspect foul play in my case, yet no one has ever been charged. My case is now a cold case. When I went missing, I was much smaller. I wonder what I would look like today. If you have any information on my disappearance, please call the Philadelphia Police at 215-685-1180. So, as I said, I will, and actually I can, it's, all the sources are in the description box, but I will put this link, in the chat really quick. So it should pop up. There it is right there. Like I said, I'll download that flyer and post it. Let me get back up to where I was at. Lots of, so just a sad case, not a lot of information. Definitely red flags in my opinion. Once again, whenever, family blame, shame, or bash, but I mean, why did it take the mother so long to report her missing? I'm just saying. I quit. That's a question I have. Okay, I think going back to Robert, JP says, was his wallet ever found? I think his wallet was it, let me go back to his information. I think was his wallet one of the things that was left behind? Surely not. Let me go back. Hold on one second. just says all of his possessions, including his clothes, money, cigarettes, and television set were found on the boat. Did not say anything about a wallet. So I don't know about the wallet. Yes, that is true, and not if the pack of cigarettes at home was opened. I'm assuming we're going back to Jeanine's case. Do we know what the delay was? Nope, we do not. The mother apparently has not given any explanation as to what the delay was. And the I forgot to say, let me go back to her information. The smaller picture on the slide is age progressed to hold on, to age 32. So, and she would be 43 as of this year, but that age progression is to 32 on the slide. Josh says he remembers Jeanine's case also. JP says red flag, foul play. Thank you, Miss Doodles, getting links in, my dear. Thank you so much. Yes, there is Klein's channel. Please do check it out. There is Dave's channel and Miss Doodles' channel and Dave's channel again. That's a good question. JP says, I wonder how many of these cold cases are actually forwarded to the FBI missing person unit. I don't know, and I don't know what the procedure is on that. Not that it's said. That's a good question. Sunday says was the mom arrested for anything like neglect or endangerment? Not that I could find, and I believe me on this one, I dug far and deep into Uncle Google. I mean, to look for anything and everything, anything else I could find on Jeanine's case, and there is nothing out there. I mean, Web Sleuths is usually a good site to go to, but I went to her thread on Web Sleuths, and everybody was like, we can find nothing besides this basic information. Hello, Moon. Let me get it right. Moonbeam and Rainbows. Good to have you here. Good to have a new name here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. There is Mr. Steve. There is Miss Duchess. There is Miss Paula. Yes, Sunday says 3 years old, alone outside down the street. Yep, let me go back. Because there's something, hold on. Oh, I was already there. So 3 years old, wouldn't have been in school. Just says she was last seen by her mother in the 4900 block of Wakefield Street on November 15th, 1985, sometime during the day. So yes, that is why would a 3-year-old be outside on the street by themselves? Yeah, something's afoot at the Circle K on this one also. Thank you once again. There's a Stolen Spirits MMIWG channel. Can't forget Mom, Mind of Monsters, absolutely. Yeah, JP says some parents just are not ready to be parents. True. There's Miss Kimber again. Right, there's a link to that poster that I was reading from Missing Black People Facebook page. There's Miss Taylor's link again. JP says it's always failure to truly follow up. Yep. As far as still here listening, my Arvo, which is afternoon, that means afternoon, right? If I remember correctly, doing stuff. Yeah, Denny says some people just shouldn't be parents. Yeah, that is true. JP says police do not use cigarettes as a factor to the case unless it's for DNA purposes. True. Oh, goodness. JP is talking about his wife being a clone again. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Jet Pet 9000. Good to see you again. Says getting the information out on these older missing persons cases is so important. Thank you for drawing attention to these cases. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Good to see you again. All right. I think we're caught up. So we will see who is next. We have Adriana M. I hope I don't butcher this name. Bejarano. Let me get her information. I think I was not able to find any other information besides Charlie Project for her. So Adriana went missing on November 28th, 1988 from Ephrata, Pennsylvania. She is an Hispanic female. She was just 15 years old when she went missing. 5'3", 125 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She had metal braces on her teeth at the time of her disappearance. She is of Colombian descent, and her nickname is, I'm assuming it's pronounced Age. It's spelled AGE, like Adrian, Age. So Adriana was last seen at her residence in the 20 block of North Charles Street in Ephrata, Pennsylvania on November 28th, 1988. Her mother saw her at 6:15 a.m. They spent some time together in the kitchen before her mother went to work, and Adriana went back to bed. Our Lady of Perpetual Help Catholic High School, where she was a freshman, was closed that day. Adriana's stepfather, who had left earlier than her mother, arrived home from work that afternoon. He was puzzled when he saw the curtains in the living room were still closed. Adriana normally opened them as soon as she got up. Sorry. His stepdaughter was not home. Adriana wasn't home. He assumed that she was just out on an errand. She never arrived home. After Adriana's mother came home from work and she still wasn't home, her parents became concerned. They reported her disappearance to the police at 9:33 p.m. There was nothing in the apartment to indicate that anything was wrong. It says little was missing. Adriana had left her purse behind. That's another thing, especially with women. Now, some women don't carry purses. I'm one. I very rarely carry a purse anymore. I just have like a little, about yay big little change that I keep my, ID, debit card, cat, whatever in. But whenever I hear of a female leaving a purse behind, that's kind of a red flag to me also, kind of like the cigarettes. So she left her purse behind, and books from her backpack were on the floor of the bedroom, but her backpack itself was gone, as was a change of clothes. Her friends stated that she had not seemed troubled at the time of her disappearance. She hadn't indicated any plans to run away. She left behind money in her bank account. Once again, that's another thing. If somebody's going to leave of their own accord or run away or whatever, they're going to need money. So if they leave money behind, authorities initially believed Adriana may have left of her own accord, possibly with an older man that she knew. However, within weeks, they stated they thought that she had was the victim of a homicide. Now, they may have gotten some information to lead them in that direction. They do have a person of interest in her disappearance, a man who no longer lives in the area. He has not been publicly identified, and her case remains unsolved. So that leads me to believe even more that they got some kind of tip or information that, hey, you need to look at whoever this unidentified or not publicly named person is. This may have been what happened or what did happen, allegedly happened. So if you have any information, you can call the Ephrata Police Department at 717-738-9265. And I don't know that I was not able, thinking these next three, this one and the next two, or the last two that I have, I was not able to find anything other than Charlie Project information. All right, let me get to your comments right quick. Oh, I didn't know there was an Amber Alert, but that is good news. JP says, by the way, the Amber Alert for Fallon, Nevada at 3 p.m. from Churchill County Sheriff's Department can now be ignored. The mother and 10-month-old baby have been found. Excellent. We always like to hear that anybody who's missing, especially a 10-month-old, has been found. Absolutely. Yes. So JP says, yes, good news. No one knew if she was going to harm the child as she was armed. So was it the child's mother or family member or a stranger? Yeah. Are you talking about Adriana's case? Doodle or Sunday says that's a leap to homicide. Yeah, but apparently, just from the little bit of information, I just assumed, I'm just going off the assumption that within weeks, it says, however, within weeks, the police stated they thought that she had been unalived, homicide. They have a person of interest in her disappearance, a man who no longer lives in the area. So that leads me, I would just assume that they got some kind of tip, some kind of information that said, hey, I know, or this happened, or could have happened, or may have happened, or did happen. And that's why they made that big leap from just runaway to homicide, and then a person of interest. That's just my assumptions, though. And we all know what assuming does. Oh, that's even scarier. So JP says it was a non-custodial. So it was a mother, but she did not have custody. Still dangerous and scary. Absolutely. Okay, by the mother. Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much, JP. Okay, yes, non-custodial mother. All right. Okay. So we mark there. Oh, Lord. Burning up. Okay, so that was Adriana. Let me check just one more time. I don't believe I had, like I said, any other information on these last ones other than Charlie Project. All right, so we did Adriana. So the next one should be Christopher Bush, another child. He was just 2 years old. So this is Christopher Bush. Christopher was last seen on April 5th, 1975, once again in Philadelphia. He's a black male. He was just 2 years old when he went missing. Doesn't give a birth date, so I don't know how old he would be now. When he went missing, he was 2'5" to 2'10" inches tall, 25 to 40 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a blue denim coat with a white fur collar and light blue corduroy pants. So this one, we don't do a lot of speculating, which there's good speculation and not so good, bad speculation, but just something about the story here is a little bit off to me. So Christopher was last seen in the Germantown area of Philadelphia on April 5th, 1975. So it said for the past several days since his home had been destroyed in a fire, he had been staying with a babysitter and her husband and daughter in the 6300 block of Morton Street. And it says his mother and 3 older sisters were staying with his mother's parents elsewhere in the city. So my first question is, why was he not staying with the rest of the family? Just a question. There's probably a perfectly innocent explanation, but so on the day of his disappearance, Christopher's babysitter took him out in her maroon 1966 Ford station wagon. At about 10 a.m., she parked the car in the vicinity of Chew Avenue and Maryland Street, left the 2-year-old inside the car unattended, which back in 1975, back in 60s, 70s, 80s, people would leave children in a car all the time to run in the store and back out. So that to me didn't strike me as unusual. Looking back, maybe not the smartest thing to do, but still. So she left him in the car unattended while she went into a deli for about 10 minutes. It is unclear whether or not the car was locked, but the babysitter said that Christopher would have been capable of getting out of the car on his own. So when she returned to the vehicle, Christopher was gone. Only his hat was left behind. He has never been heard from again, and an extensive search turned up no indication of his whereabouts, and his case remains unsolved. So that is the information we have. So my first thoughts, either, once again, not blaming or putting, but either the babysitter's not telling the truth, or somebody snatched him out of the car, or he got out of the car by himself and somebody snatched him there. Because you would think, I would assume the street would have been pretty busy, maybe. You would think that if a little 2-year-old little boy was running around in the street, somebody, a good Samaritan would have taken him and say, hey, who does this kid belong to? But if anybody else has any other theories, absolutely would love to hear them. And I'm not saying, once again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying those are the only two things I could come up with. Either the babysitter's not telling the truth, or, like I said, somebody snatched him out of the car, or he did get out of the car by himself and somebody snatched him after he got out of the car. Because if he would have unfortunately, got hit by a car or something, definitely would have been, people would have noticed. And you would think, like I said, if it was a good Samaritan, if he did get out of the car by himself and a good Samaritan came by and, snatched him up so he wouldn't get hurt, very, very strange. And like I said, I do have questions about why he wasn't with the rest of the family, but once again, that could be perfectly, sensible explanation for that. It just didn't say. And go through your comments. Oh my gosh, my throat is so bad. Let me see where I was at. Yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one that had that question. Sunday also says, why separate the kids? That's why that's what I'm wondering. Because it said, how many other ones were there? So he was with a babysitter. So not even a family member, but a babysitter. He was left with a babysitter. His mother and 3 older sisters were staying with his mother's parents. So they were staying with family members elsewhere in the city. So why send the little one to live with a babysitter? To me, that's just my opinion, to me, that is very sus, very suspicious. I mean, why? There had to be a reason. I mean, it could be they didn't have room in the house, but I mean, how much room is a little 2-year-old boy going to take up? I mean, if it was me, once again, all families, all situations are different, but if it was me and I had 3 older kids and a 2-year-old. I would definitely want I would want all of them with me, but definitely the baby. Would definitely want the baby to stay with me. So that just, to me, that makes no sense. But once again, every family is different. Every situation is different. I just don't understand. Yeah, I agree. To me, that is significant too. Yep, he could have been lured out of the car. Absolutely. That's a thought, but they said he was with or, well, that could. So Sunday said, so what if he didn't survive the fire? That would be why he wasn't with the rest of the family. So that goes down a whole other rabbit hole. So just going down a rabbit hole for a minute, but I'm trying to think how to put this. So if he didn't survive the fire, and for some reason the family didn't want the police or anybody to know that he didn't survive the fire for some reason, they said, oh, he's with the babysitter. But you would think that the police or whoever would go check with the babysitter to make sure that he was okay. But that does bring up an interesting point. Paula says, is the babysitter considered a suspect? I don't know officially, but in my opinion, person of interest, definitely, at the very least. Like I said, my 2 theories: the babysitter did something happened, and she made up that story, or he was snatched out of the car, lured out of the car, and kidnapped by a stranger. But now Sunday has got me thinking about the fire. But that would be easy to check, though. I mean, I don't know. Depending on how, because usually, not to get too graphic, but usually you can find, I know there are exceptions, but usually you can find at least bones in a fire. And like I said, you would think that after the fire, the police or whoever would say, well, where's Christopher? And, oh, he's with the babysitter, and they would be able to go check it out. Unless they just took the mom's word or whoever's word and said, okay, whatever. Sunday says the trip to the store was to cover up his death in the house fire. Anything's possible. Mustang says, sounds like the babysitter might have done something to him. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards, is the babysitter or abduction. JP says, in 1975, a lot of the circumstances could have been different with the law at that time if only we had the response time we needed. Absolutely. Yeah, me too. Chris says, on Christopher's case, I see red flags everywhere. Yep. I have lots, even with just this little bit of information we have, I have lots of questions. Sunday says, I think they lied. You're pulling me in. You're pulling me down the rabbit hole with you, Sunday. Oh, now I know that is not true today, but JP says in 1975, parents believed that you cannot report a child missing within 24 hours. Today we don't wait. We know better. Absolutely. But some police still try to tell parents, you got to wait 24 hours, 24 hours or 48 hours. Paula says, I'm living with my 2-year-old nephew. I know. Yeah. Yep. Sunday said that is true. No proof he was with any babysitter. Yeah, because if police didn't go check, if they just took the mother's word, or the mother's word, because it just mentioned the mother, I don't know about a father. If the mother just said, oh, he's with the babysitter, he's fine, and said, okay, that's entirely possible. Was that the mother? So Josh says, one article mentions an unemployed common law husband living with Miss Warwick. Is it this case, or was that his mom's name? because I don't think, like I said, all I was able to find was just the Charlie Project information. JP says he is learning more on the fire. Excellent. Yes, JP says even if it was even by accident, and that is the case, they should have reported it, but didn't. Did they find charred remains? Because it takes thousands of degrees to burn a body by cremation. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, usually you're going to be able to find something, bone, absolutely. Okay, Josh is, I can't wait till Josh gets this channel going. He is so good. He says Mrs. Warwick said uh she was planning returning Christopher to the grandparents' home later that day in one article. Where do you find all these articles at? I swear I could not find anything. So did it say how long he had been with the babysitter? Let's see, what did Charlie Project? So it said for the past several days since his home had been destroyed in fire, he had been staying with the babysitter. Okay. So it was just days. Okay. I don't know. Sunday says, I'm not sure if that time in history anyone would kidnap an African American child. I don't know. That you got crazy people running out there who will kidnap anybody. That's the thought. Miss Paula says 2-year-olds are pretty fast. Yes, when they want to be. Maybe he made it out, then passed away from smoke inhalation outside where he couldn't be found. Possibility. Yeah, Sunday said they were also thinking smoke inhalation. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so Mrs. Warwick. Okay, Mrs. Warwick is the babysitter. So the babysitter said that she was planning on returning Christopher back to the rest of the family. Okay. Did it happen to mention why he wasn't with the family in the first place? This is strange to me. JP says if there were no remains, then the child was with someone else. Yes. Okay, Josh says he is reading from the Pennsylvania Inquirer from that week. See, that's the problem I run into a lot when I'm trying to find articles, because sometimes I do find articles that have interviews with family or more information, but they're behind a paywall and I'm not paying. I can't afford to pay for every article. So I do run into that a lot. Yes, Josh is coming with the info. Okay, so Josh says yes. He had been staying with her that Tuesday. So was he staying with the babysitter when the house was on fire, or was he there? That would be a question I would have. JP says, can you find a photo of the house that burned down? Oh, Lordy. Probably not on the fly. Let me see. Josh could probably be faster at it than I could. Oh, that reminds me. I need to give Josh the Posh. Wait a minute. I don't think he has. Does he have a wrench? I need to give Josh a wrench. Let me just see. Hold on 1 second. I can type. Hold on, I'm looking. Hold on. I'm looking. I'm looking for see if web sleuths. Sometimes they have article or pictures. Hold on. All right, there's web sleuths. Let's see what it says. I don't think web sleuths has a lot of information. This is Charlie Project. Just has some scanned in articles. Boy 2 missing since Saturday. A police search continues for 2-year-old Christopher Bush, who was last seen in a parked car at Chew Avenue and Maryland Street in Germantown. Christopher had been in the care of Mrs. Patricia Warwick, 26, since April 1st, after his home was destroyed in a fire, so he was there. His mother, Gwendolyn Bush, 24, and 3 daughters have been staying with relatives. Miss Warwick says she left the child in the car with all the doors locked, but when she returned from a shopping trip about 10 minutes later, the car was empty. She searched for Christopher more than an hour before calling police. The boy's disappearance was cause for a widespread police search involving more than 100 officers who looked for him in vain Saturday morning. Let's see. There's another one that just said at some point the police came to his mother's house to ask him to go to the hospital because there was a young patient fitting the description of missing 2-year-old Christopher. It was not him. These must be the articles that Joshua was found, because Miss Warwick said she had planned to take Christopher back to his grandparents' home later Saturday. Miss Bush, her daughters, age 8, 9, and 10, and Christopher had been staying with Mrs. Bush's parents as a fire damaged their home. Christopher's grandfather, Jerome Frazier, a former post office employee, said that he drove around the areas where the boy disappeared in hopes of spotting him. Now, although no ransom demand has been made, he waits in his own neighborhood, convinced that someone took the boy. Okay, so in this one of this articles that I read, I think it was the first one, it said that Miss Warwick, who's the babysitter, said that she left the child in the car with all the doors locked. So there's another article that says Miss Warwick told police that she left the auto unlocked, and when she returned, the baby was gone. She said, okay, but she said Christopher was capable of opening the car door and climbing out. So did she leave it locked or did she leave it unlocked? So that's still, yeah, the first article said she locked the doors. This other article, she said she left the doors unlocked. So to me, that's a red flag, definitely. Yep, somebody down in web comments and web sleuths said, I noticed one article cited the babysitter said she left the car locked, another that she left it unlocked. Somebody that says, hello, I'm the niece of Christopher and my mother was only 10 years old when this happened. We are still trying to piece this together. The police failed my family in this case. If anyone would like to email me, anyone, it gives the email. This was from November 2021 that was posted. So that's interesting that in one time she said the doors were locked. She locked the doors, and then one time she said she did not lock the doors. I'm telling you, you can find. I love using web sleuths. And I will put this the link to his Web Sleuths thread in the chat for anybody who wants to check it out. So that is very makes me even more suspicious of the babysitter. All right, let me get back to where I was in the comments. JP says he's leaning more on the fire. Oh, I think I already read that. Oh yeah, I was looking for a photo. Sorry. Yeah, no, not Josh. JP says I will see if I can find anything with the picture of the house, but I did not see anything on Web Sleuths. I'll look into it and see if I can find anything, and if I do, I will post it on the community post. Josh says it does not mention the reason at all in the articles from that week. JP says smaller lungs make smoke inhalation questionable. The latter seems to make more sense. I think he was with someone who just did not want him. Yeah, I'm telling you, just my opinion, just my speculating. But yeah, the babysitter seems Oh, you're talking about that really, really old case? No, that was the one that whenever I think Boy in the Box is the one that they finally identified after a ton of years. Yes, Sunday says this doesn't make sense with a babysitter. I'm in complete agreement. Yep, I still don't understand why he wasn't with the eyes. As Sunday says, not only did the family move on without the little guy, they dropped him off at a babysitters instead of dropping him off at the grandparents. I know. I don't understand. Ah, that is a good point. Josh says the only evidence that he had been with the babysitter in the babysitter's care was his hat. Ooh, did not think about that, Josh. I'm telling you, you need to hurry up and get your channel started, sir. I'm telling you, Josh. But I knew it anyway. Josh is a smart guy, sharp guy. I did not even think about that. Yeah, they said the only thing that was left in the car, his hat was in the car, which is probably that. I'm assuming that same hat that he's wearing on the slide. The hat was there. He was not. Telling you something with the babysitter or with the whole family babysitter collusion on some kind of story. Just my opinion. Allegedly. Yeah, JP says sometimes photos telling secrets. Absolutely. The possible. Sunday says, what if the fire was to cover up a crime involving the child? Absolutely. Yep. I didn't even think about that, but yep. Yeah, JP says maybe even any crime, even not involving him, but he was there. Josh says that article has a picture of the grandfather and Mrs. Bush, some other, on the Charlie Project. Did I miss that? I don't see them. I just see the one of them had the picture, the same picture that they used on the Charlie Project. But I'm just on a Web Sleuth, so. Interesting. Yeah, it's entirely possible that he unlocked the doors. But it's just that she said one time she said she locked the doors, and then one time she said she left the doors unlocked. So whether that wouldn't have anything to do with whether or not he could unlock the doors, it's either did you lock the doors or did you not lock the doors? That's the discrepancy. Yeah, exactly. Which is it? Did you lock them or did you not lock them? Yes. Josh says Web Sleuth is one of my go-tos. Mine too. Web Sleuth. Ever since I found, or when I first got into researching cases and stuff, and somebody had mentioned Web Sleuth, so you need to, and I've been using it ever since. It is lots of good stuff you can find there. Yeah, JP says if he passed out outside, they would have found him. They searched the area. Absolutely. Yep, I'm still thinking either babysitter or babysitter family collusion. Because whoever mentioned it, I've already forgotten now. I apologize. That only the hat was the only link, only proof or link that he was with the babysitter. Yep, Josh says yes. There seems to be more to the story with the babysitter. Absolutely. Yep. Mustang says maybe there wasn't room where the mother was staying. Yeah. JP says the babysitter is lying about the car. She is hiding something possible. I definitely have questions. Definitely have questions. Like I said, with the door, were they doors locked or were they unlocked? Yeah, JP says she should have never let him leave her sight. She should have taken him in the store with her. Yeah, I agree. But like I said, back in the I was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s. It was much more common. You hardly ever see it nowadays, especially with a 2-year-old. It was common back in the 70s, 80s to leave the kids in the car to run in the grocery store or whatever and grab something and come back out. It was common. Not so much these days, for good reason. It shouldn't have been common back then, in my opinion. But it was common back in the day, those days. So I can see, And JP says his feelings say he was coerced out of the car. That's also a possibility. Sunday says I don't believe she ever had him. Okay, Josh says the pics were in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I'll have to try to find those. Yes, JP says that is why we childproof car locks now, because children are capable of unlocking them. Yes. Yeah, JP says that's a good point too. Someone could just be blaming the babysitter. Yeah. Yep. So now y'all got me down this rabbit hole too with this one. So many more possibilities, because at first I just said the babysitter did something to him, or it was a stranger abduction. But now it could be the babysitter, stranger abduction, something happened to him that had to do with the fire, or the fire was a cover up for something and he was never with the babysitter and they just had the hat and put it in the car and they made up the story. So many possibilities. I'm gonna be awake all night thinking about it. Yep, Mustang says me too. Mustang says I stayed in the car in the 80s all the time. I know, yeah. In the 70s, because I was born in 71. And I mean, granted, we live in a very small town. It was smaller then. It's not that much bigger now. It's less than 2,000 people. But it was nothing for, because it was me, my 2 brothers, at least 2 cousins. So there would be at least 6 of us 2 to 6 of us, depending on how, and if whatever aunt, uncle, whoever had all the kids, or usually grandparents, load us up all. They would have to go run an errand, load us all up in the car, and even when we were little young, we would, leave us. They would leave us in the car, run in and grocery shop, and come back out. It was, and and everybody did it. So it was very common. No, that's a good thing. JP says, sorry. I'm sorry. I like to tear apart evidence to find the answer. I used to do in law school at time. No, that's what you have to tear it apart. Tear it apart. Look at it piece by piece. That's how things get figured out sometimes. I apologize. My throat is really sore and scratchy tonight. All right. Yep. Josh says, that's a great skill set, especially if you have some law experience, JP. Absolutely. Yep. Chris says that is a good to do on cases. Yep. That's what you do. You tear it apart, and then try to put it back together again and find if you're lucky, you find some missing pieces to put in there. Oh, you could do it live. You can come on here with me sometime and do it. Because it is kind of, sometimes it is better to have, if you're not by yourself up here. If you have a guest on, more than one person, and, Duppy says, that's why I like to listen in most times and no one knows. You can at least say hello. You usually say hello. Okay, I think we have, oh yeah, we have one more, Tracy Bird. So let me mark here. It's hot. Let me get Tracy's information. Oh, we're going 2.5 hours. Okay. So once again, just have Charlie Project information for Tracy. Once again, I'm going to have to wipe my face one more time because my glasses are falling off. All right, so this is Tracy Ann Bird. Tracy has been missing since March 7th, 1983 from Bensalem Township, Pennsylvania. She's a white female. She was 14 years old when she went missing. She'll be 56 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5 foot to 5'4" tall, 70 to 105 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. Her ears are pierced. Last known clothing was just a shirt and jeans. It says Tracy may have been pregnant at the time of her disappearance, but this has not been confirmed. So Tracy's mother's live-in boyfriend, Paul Greenwald, dropped Tracy off at Bensalem High School in Bensalem Township on the morning of March 7th, 1983. She was a 9th grader at the time. So how old was she? 14, possibly pregnant. So the stepfather, or her mother's live-in boyfriend, dropped her off at school on the morning of March 7th, 1983. She was a 9th grader at the time. She was suspended from school and wasn't allowed to attend classes again until her mother met with the principal, but she had kept this a secret from her family. So I'm going to go on the assumption that after whoever would drop her off at school, that she would just kind of, and then when they left, she would hightail it somewhere else, since she was suspended. So after she was dropped off, Tracy tried to get her friends to skip school with her, but they would not. She disappeared afterwards. She has never been heard from again. She was initially considered a runaway. There were several possible sightings of her in the local area after she vanished. None of these were substantiated, and police believe that these sightings may have been a girl that resembled her. Tracy had run away from home on one previous occasion after an argument with her mother. She was only gone for one night, however. Prior to her disappearance, Tracy told a friend that she might be pregnant, so that's where the possibility comes in. Authorities don't know if she was in fact pregnant or who the father of the baby could be, although Tracy's friend stated that she had dated 2 boys. Tracy's mother, Jean Louise Bird. Wow. So Tracy's mother, Jean Louise Bird, disappeared 7 months after Tracy was last seen. Jean's body, her mother's body, was located on October 18th, 1983 in the Blackbird State Forest in Newcastle County, Delaware. She had been strangled. Jean had last been seen 11 days prior in her son's apartment complex in Bensalem Township. So I'm wondering how old the son was. Okay, so let me make sure. So so Greenwald, it says the mother had stopped seeing Greenwald, who was her live-in boyfriend, before her disappearance. They had had a troubled relationship, and once in 1980, Greenwald kidnapped her at knife point. In November of 1984, Greenwald was charged with first-degree homicide in Jean's death, which is the mother. He admitted to the homicide, and he pleaded guilty to manslaughter. He took his own life in his prison cell before he was sentenced in March of 1986. He apparently OD'd on some medication. He was never connected with Tracy's disappearance. It is not known if he was involved with Tracy's disappearance. I would question that, though. Just my opinion. So the runaway theory is now considered an unlikely explanation for Tracy's disappearance. She was close to her mother, and her loved ones believe that she would have returned home for her mother's funeral if she had been able to. So it says Greenwald, the live-in boyfriend who was convicted of her mom's homicide, was long considered a suspect in Tracy's disappearance, but investigators no longer believe that he was involved. Police have another suspect, a Bucks County, Pennsylvania man. He has not been publicly named. Tracy's case remains unsolved. Foul play is suspected. So that's interesting that. So let me go back and make sure I have my facts straight. So Tracy's mother disappeared 7 months after Tracy disappeared. So Tracy disappeared 7 months later. Her mother disappeared. Then her body was located on October 18th. She'd been strangled. The boyfriend was pled guilty, did it say? He was charged with first-degree homicide. He admitted to it and pleaded guilty to manslaughter. So I wonder, they must have got, once again, knocking stuff over. Once again, we don't have all the information that police do, but evidently they got some kind of information that about this other suspect that has not been named publicly, for them to no longer believe that the mother's boyfriend had anything to do with Tracy's disappearance. That's interesting. Interesting. All right, so if you have any information, you can call the Bensalem Township Police Department at 215-639-3700. Once again, I did not have any. That's all the information we have. Oh, goodness. Interesting to see what you guys think about this one. I have lots of questions, obviously. Obviously, as we all do. Josh said, that explains a lot. Josh says, I'm a curious cat and a librarian. Excellent. And JP says he loves forensics. I do too. Excuse me. Are you talking about on Tracy's case? JP says, did you, I mean, I'm assuming you meant to say, did you say boyfriend? You talking about Tracy's case? Flag number 1, yes. Or the mother's boyfriend. Did not say. Paula says, why was she suspended? I'm just going to assume maybe skipping school, because it said that the day that she disappeared after her mother's boyfriend dropped her off at school, that Tracy tried to get her friends to skip school with her, but they would not. So I'm just going to assume maybe for skipping school is why she got suspended, but now I don't know for sure. But that would be my assumption. Yep, flag number 2. JP's got all kinds of flags. You talking about Tracy? JP says she went home realizing she couldn't support herself. Josh says something's interesting. JP says that's way more than a red flag. That's a hit on the mother. Oh yeah, he admitted to killing them. The boyfriend admitted to killing the mother. JP says it's less likely because she didn't want to be out all night again. She didn't run away. Nope, didn't say why she was suspended. Like I said, if I was to guess, skipping school. Oh, night, Josh. I hope he's not already gone. Thank you so much for being here. Can't wait for your channel. I'm going to invite myself to be a guest on your channel at some point if you do a live. I try to invite myself on everybody's channel. On Arctics, Doodle, everybody. JP says, but did she skip alone? Apparently, the day she disappeared, apparently she did, because it said she tried to get her friends to skip school with her, but they would not skip school with her. So I'm assuming she was at least left the school by herself. Now, whether or not she met up with somebody after she got away from the school, that's a possibility. Didn't say anything about taking any belongings. But once again, let me see. Once again, I think I did look at web sleuths, but I will see if check one more time. If I can spell, I can't type tonight. Let me put in there we go. Okay, let's see. Let's just see, same information. Charlie Project. Well, I wonder if it'll let me take this article. Dadgummit, page not found. There's an article on Charlie Project, but apparently it's been taken down. Dang it. Nothing, none of the articles, they've been taken down. Only thing that I can find on Charlie Project is just people commenting that they her DNA had been compared to some Jane Does and were not a match. I'm not finding anything other than what we've already discussed. Unfortunately. So this is just I'm just gonna read this. Don't take it as gospel. It's just somebody's speculation or opinion on web sleuths. From March of 2022. Just gives the information that we know. So whoever posted this, in their opinion, says it seems rather obvious, given Greenwald's subsequent homicide of Tracy's mother and his own self-harm, that he also took the life of Tracy. The story of her being last seen going through the doors of her school came from Greenwald and was most likely a lie. She was probably already deceased by that time. Her body might be found in Blackbird State Forest, which was where her mother's body was found, or in another remote place frequented by Greenwald. So that is a possibility. Um, so another poster that posted on here brought another interesting. They said, I think it was Greenwald, and maybe he attacked and took the life of the mother because the mother began questioning him, maybe regarding Tracy. So also a possibility. Lots of possibilities. Because we don't like to go there, but if she told a friend that she was possibly pregnant, now I'm not saying that this is the case, maybe the mother had the suspicion, maybe for some reason, that Greenwald might have had been not doing some not so nice things to Tracy. Like I said, not have, that's just a speculation. Oh, thank you, Josh. I would love to be on. It would be my honor. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging around. Yep. Paula says that given that her mother's boyfriend took the life of her mother, if she did run away, quite possibly from him. Yep. Yep. All right, Josh says, but good night for real. I can't. I find it gets harder and harder for me every day to adult. I feel your pain. Yes. JP said, well, wrong one. Says, did you read the part about her keeping it a secret to return to school until mom? Yes. Let me go back. Yeah. Yeah. Says she was suspended from school and was not allowed to attend classes again until her mother met with the principal, but she had kept this a secret from her family. Yep. So that's why I said that when whoever would drop her off at school, and I don't know if the boyfriend, her mother's boyfriend, was the one who usually dropped her off at school, but I would just assume she would get out, bye, and walk towards the doors of the school, and then when he or whoever was dropping her off pulled off, she would hightail it away from the school. That way, they wouldn't know that she was suspended. I mean, that's the way I would have done it if I got suspended. When I was in school. Yeah, JP says, I think she knew the person that is responsible. Absolutely. Yeah, JP says, I think it's more likely a case of DV between, you talking about the mom and the boyfriend. Yeah, JP says, some boys, yes, boys are not ready to be dads. And as I would suspect, he never dropped her off at school, but it could also be mom's boyfriend. Yeah. That's also a possibility. JP says, I think when she burst, you know, talking about the possibly being pregnant to the boyfriend, he flipped in rage. Just a huge maybe, yeah. But now, like I said, in this limited information from Charlie Project, all it said was that she had told a friend that she might be pregnant. Okay. Well, we have been on here almost 3 hours. Now, like I said, I think that was our last one. So good, good, good. I love you guys. You're so smart with all these questions and these theories, and made me think of things that I didn't think about when I was, you know, thinking of possibilities for these cases. So that is the last one we have. So unless anybody has any last minute questions, comments, goodbyes, whatever, not goodbyes, until next times, we will start getting out of here. But thank you so much for everybody that was in chat. If you're watching replay, thank you for watching replay. We love our replay crew. Thank you, lurkers. We love our lurkers. Obviously, thank you to everybody in chat once again. So I'll have a video. So it's Monday. I'll have a video. It is Monday, right? Please don't tell me I'm a day behind. Just making sure. For some reason, I just had a brain fart. Was thinking it was Tuesday. I have a video upload Wednesday. I should be able to do a True Crime After Dark Friday. About 8:30 or so, 8:15, 8:30. I do have some articles and some stories, some cold cases that I like to share with you guys. And then, of course, we'll share any missing that needs to be shared. Oh, and I forgot. 1 second. I hope I can't remember if I uploaded it. Yes, I did. And when I checked right before the live stream, we do have a missing, let me make this bigger so I can read it. Missing teen from here in Arkansas from Little Rock. The Little Rock Police Department has requested the public's help in locating a runaway 13-year-old teen. The Little Rock Police Department has requested the public's help. According to reports, 13-year-old Kania Phillips was last seen in Little Rock. She is described as being 4'11" in height, weighing about 170 pounds, with dark hair. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is urged to contact detectives at 501-404-3016, 501-404-3009, or 501-371-4829. And I did post this on my community tab here on YouTube and on my Facebook page. So if anybody here on YouTube, share it everywhere. If you're on Facebook, please share it. When I get off of here, I will check and again to see, hopefully she's been found. If so, either way, I will let you know. So that is that. I was going to do that at the beginning and I forgot. So yeah, so I have a missing video uploaded Wednesday. Friday we should have True Crime After Dark. So we'll be looking forward to that. Let me get your comments down in comments. Thank you. I don't know who you're talking to, but yeah, good job to everybody here. You guys are smart. You're very welcome, Mustang. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Farr. Once again, before I forget, Farr has been a member for 7 months, and Farr also gifted 5 Southern Gal True Crime memberships. So thank you again to Miss Farr. Is an angel. Thank you, JP. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Oh, yeah. Miss Paula says maybe do West Memphis 3. we'll try. I'm still trying to decide how I want to get this just Jesse Miss Kelly stuff, because that's what we were gonna do next. Is, excuse me, kind of focus on because the Dan Stidham's got the book out, and then with the big thing with the West Memphis 3 case was Jesse Miss Kelly's confession, and he confessed more than once. We just have to have, we'll have to have if Miss Doodle can be here, our enforcer, because last time we just mentioned it, we had some problems. But West Memphis 3, just like other cases that we know, always going to have some troubles. But anyway, so we may talk a little bit about that. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Farr. Says prayer for all the missing and their families. Absolutely. You're more than welcome, Miss Paula. Absolutely. No, I'm not a genius. You guys are the geniuses. See, this is what happens. This is why I do this also, is to bring you these cases so we can all get our collective thinking, bounce ideas and theories off of each other, because there's, and I think especially in the Christopher Bush case, y'all were coming up with some possibilities and theories that I hadn't even thought about. I had the two, the babysitter or a stranger, but then we went down this other possibilities. So it takes all of us to put our heads together and think these things through, use our critical thinking skills. I think JP mentioned critical thinking skills. Absolutely. So everybody is a genius. All right, so I'm going to quit babbling now and get out of here. Once again, thank you to everybody. Find my outro. Where's it at? There it is. And I've got to get, hopefully Friday I will have my new outro. I went through all my pictures of Sir Tigger and Little Biscuit, and I got them all together. I'm going to make an outro video for my live streams featuring Sir Tigger and Biscuit, because I think they're more popular than I am on here, which is entirely fine. They're much cuter than I am. So hopefully I'll have that ready Friday for you guys. But until Friday, have a good week. Be careful out there. Don't be scared. Be prepared, though. Always be aware of your surroundings. Take care of each other. We are all we have, so we take care of each other. Be kind. Be kind to everybody. And if you're talking about missing persons or cases, engage with empathy. Do no harm. Be kind. Do it the right way. Or you can't. Far says she can't wait for my. Oh, I know. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to start a new channel just to feature Tigger and Biscuit. They are very popular with you guys, understandably, because they are very, very cute. They can be annoying sometimes at like 3 o'clock in the morning when they get the zoomies and are running around. But anyway, all right. So hopefully I should be able to see you guys Friday. Video uploads through the week. I did put out Sunday. Yesterday evening, I finally got the second episode in the series I'm doing for the members only. So members, if you haven't watched it, be sure to watch it. Yeah, so I think that's all I have. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good week, and I will see you guys Friday.